Well, welcome to your favorite show. And today, you know, I always start with the slogans for the show. And then let me hold on for one quick second. Do you know why? Because there's something that I want to talk about today. Honestly, between you and I, or between me and God, I promise myself, this thing is so stupid. This thing is so immature. This thing is so petty. This thing is so childish that I shouldn't even talk about it. But let me to me, I can't just say I won't talk about it. So I'll go against my own inner fight I was having with myself. Say, give me just a few minutes to clarify a few things. There's this one, I think it's called, was it Mustapha? Salam? Or something. It's supposed to be on the communication teams of the great MPP. Yes, where the tables are going to turn and they are coming back in 2028. Let me play something, a comment. All of you have heard it too, but you haven't heard my reaction. But let me play quickly, then I'll come back with my reaction, even before I said it too. Listen to this.
We will make this country very ungovernable for them. And trust me, when the NPP says we'll react, we'll react. Because we are not a small political party. If for nothing at all, in the last election, over 4 million people voted for us. And if you count to our database, we know we have numbers. And if this nonsense doesn't stop, we will weaponize our support base. And we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them. And this, take it from me, if we have to weaponize the entire youth of the NPP, rally behind our entire support base, I promise you, we will. Thank you so much.
Okay, two things. First, we are going to weaponize the NPP youth. Second thing, we will make the country ungovernable. Now, on that note, let me begin my show, and I come back to this. And the show, I always say, this is where we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And the chips will stay drop on our heart. And we say again, the truth crushed to earth will rise again. And we tell all these gendarmites who are crazy and not thinking about nation building that we shall suffocate their gendarme with the truth. Finally, the question, what time is it, folks? And every time I say that, you answer me, it's nation time. Bless you, it's nation time. Folks, so it's against this backdrop that I'm going to make certain references today. And the first one is this clown, Mustapha Salam or something. And sometimes I feel like, Charlie, don't blame him, KSM. It is the English language he doesn't understand. But I'm sure this guy is a graduate, he has gone to school, he looks very well learned. So I can't assume, say, Unim Nyansabia. But when I listen to this stupidity about we are going to weaponize the youth. Not only that, we're going to make this country ungovernable. Mr. Charlie, teach this man some English more. Mustapha, I think it's the English you don't understand. Maybe you do. If you do, then it raises other more serious questions about your state of mind. You're going to weaponize the NPP youth. Look, do you know what that alone means? You're either going to arm them with physical weapons or mentally get them charged and incite them to do what? To break the law. If you don't understand why I'm saying incite them to break the law, because in your statement you said, we shall make this country ungovernable.
We will weaponize our support base and we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them.
Check with your dictionary. Until I'm saying Brofon, I won't ask you. Check with the dictionary. When you get to a stage where somebody declares that I'm going to make the government ungovernable, they are calling for chaos. They are calling for anarchy. They are calling for destruction. And I'm telling you, Mustapha, Salam, wherever you are, if you are thinking, or should I say, if you are a right-thinking person, you will never, under any stretch of the imagination, stand before the nation and tell them, I am going to weaponize the youth and cause chaos and anarchy in the country. I'll come back to what I'm talking about, but sometimes Ghana, I laugh at Ghanaians, because we are so narrow-minded that we have had democracy. Democracy is freedom of speech, And I think, I don't remember who, but somebody said at one point, he says, democracy means you have the freedom to swing your arm. Any democracy, no. You have freedom to swing your arm, but you have no right to hit my nose. Your freedom to swing your arm does not give you the right to hit my nose. Until while you swing your arm, I'm bleeding, my nose is broken. Hey, no, that's okay. I was just exercising my freedom to swing my arm. Yes, but you don't have any right to break my nose. So in Ghana, freedom of speech means say what you want, insult who you want, condemn who you want, and you have the right to do that. And not only do you have the right, the legal institution should back you to do that. Abai. Does that make sense? Now, you saw what Mustapha is saying. Why he's so upset that he's going to weaponize. The word there is weaponize. So all of you, please check weaponize. If you have chat, GPT, dictionaries, and check the word weaponize the youth. What does it mean? To make the country ungovernable.
We will weaponize our support base and we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them.
Check it right now and see what it means. And I'm saying this, you're so angry you want to weaponize the youth and make the country ungovernable because of what? Let's listen to why. Listen to this.
So Mom Kujo Mahama Maya Wahu. Mom Kujo Mahama Mayeni one jai say, oh dear, or the efa, but soon my cow muwa brakura, Yanku Riana, Yanku Kunipana, Yanku Dini, Yakwasi, penny na.
Yes, in the meat. Crab is a swaz pie. Ayi Lordina Mahama, the mate, our nenety, or could you or buy out Babatoswa, Mahama. A Mahama or Hamano.
Yes, Gabi was Cassie go Mahama. Ma or bon me, no Casay. Uti, the small economics are Meme no Prempe Collegiano. As St. John Mahama, the communication certificate now holding.
Mahama, because of chronic alcoholism, no, I weaken your mind. You see, because of chronic alcoholism, men seven be I weaken the mind.
And can Sana
Mecano. Sa on Tiasia, oh, inside Yan Numbi, but inside Yada Mejino. Yes, oh, Yansa, Nemana, or Yan inside Yas and in life. Can be over Quani Pamunoa, boy, and tell you, okay, can't answer no. Madam, I come say, John Mahama, the sports person here, on you know what dance you oh, Massa, more hot dances and maybe see your men for crying in metro. No, can what dance I may catch we. What it? Oh, yes, Sika $50 million. What's in region for Sika? Sika, oh, you Sika. Yet, to us a young family developmental project $50 million. Our watching region. Oh, yes, Sika as a vice president, you know. Asani bedi police headquarters police near or jina mucho or twhwe mu chi do mama che on na wi asika no police ni na yira and that is done the man mama na man yira ye one kai say Ghana yefna Mahama international community platform so speech e kita no na papers ni bi no anam say no abu kai say e ECOWAS meeting answer no e ECOWAS chair no and documents rabani and me ni mu no abu and na me ni no abu. No, I want to or sorry table, so in some table not so or sister papers in page 2 nim, page 3 nim, page 5 nim. Met what the President Mahama Gnaho, Nina Pontis, met Messabia, Yamushu, Pino, a Cassicana, Macassican, what to a mebotu. May catch the people need Biate, and this need Cassicana can be called report to police in Babia. Police near mania. On the castle preaching violence and lawlessness. Me say, San Quasia una na. womo dia start no and this ni class kana twane bi nkobo police amane wo ya kwasea wonim nyansa na and this ni
and o ma chance e bo mo drip hu videos ni bi
me da maka me you can't do such nonsense because here me rigging so bo obi wo sampa me ya bo and this ni wo sunana onye hwe and this ni wo sampa no din kwa asema e de tiam pipini me organize na and this ni onam sunana onye hwe no so twase kan wo sampa and this ni wo sunana onye ne ya me ya twa ne seka na teka
see won't you see din ketia
oh it's nonsense ni wa jimi jasa kwa wa jimi officer no kwa na ebe mana.
So there, folks, you are listening. Somebody has the right to insult the president. It is free speech. Shall I go to America? What should I call them? The guardians of free speech. Go to America and go and stand at the State Department, the Capitol, and say, you, Donald Trump. You are a racist. I'm going to weaponize the black people. And Donald Trump will use the black people to make America ungovernable. Okay, we are, see how long you remain where you are standing. See how long. Why? They come and sit in Ghana and talk crap like that and say, oh, it's democratic speech. Please, most of you listen to me in the US and in the diaspora. Some of you are in the UK, Canada, all you so-called democratic countries. Tell me, which country in the West can somebody come and promise that they are going to weaponize a certain group of people and they are going to make the country ungovernable, and then when they finish, they go home and eat and go and sleep? One can't tell me, oh, Ghana do. That's why I like Ghana. You can say this and go free. So this has been some of a minute part of what Abronye has been saying. Even when he said this and he was arrested, he came back to explain why he was sent to a particular court in Adenta and why he knows it's a political court. Listen to that a bit.
Now, Gramanya, and I did judge you Adenta ho. Wo brafo ya towo brafo. We a political judge. And untina da bia no ye nya case ya. Ya de kwa Adenta ho. Judge na wa Adenta circuit court one or your political judge. Mon calculate cases here. Nansei Adenta ho police for ya no mo de kwa Adenta circuit court negotiating ben na Ghana police service any Adenta circuit court no or your political judge na wo Adenta no your political judge oni abana ye negotiation a intimidation court and o ma establish e wo Adenta ho intimidation court enya court wa a deliver justice and your court where you fair because Ghana police service and judge negotiation and in case be Adenta circuit court or your political judge. Media count me out. Say oh your political judge, media count me out. You can't do focal.
Hey, I'm applauding Abronye. I want all the supporters, Afenyo, Markin, Salam, Mohammed, or whatever the name is, Minkai, all of you who support this, let us applaud Abronye. Thank you. Wakasa. He has expressed his freedom of speech, even if he has to insult the judiciary, even if he has to incite people against the judge. Freedom of speech, Wakasa. So for this reason, the police said, no. You can't be doing these things. So he's sent to jail and he's remanded in jail until a certain hearing, and then all hell breaks loose in Ghana again. How are you going to detain such a fine boy? Abronye, a fine man. Onye bonibia, no kwere noka. So what on earth will come to you to detain such a beautiful person, a role model for the youth? Why are you detaining him?
We are sending this warning and caution to government that release Abronye. Otherwise, should anything happen to Abronye in custody, you have us to contend with. And this constant harassment and intimidation of NPP people, if you people don't stop it, we'll make sure that we react in such a way that you will not be happy with us. If you turn us into enemies, we will give you rebellion. And this, take it from me, if we have to weaponize the entire youth of the NPP, rally behind our entire support base, I promise you, we will. Thank you so much.
Because Abronye spoke his heart. And as Ghanaians and as this nation, we should celebrate it. So that when the law says that Abronye, you have gone too far, and the law questions what Abronye does, our respected, esteemed, high-thinking people in the position, what do? They are quite a national community. You should see them, they are angry. You are going to see the president of the diplomatic corps. Why? We are going to report Mahama. Manasseh. So they walked there with vim and vigor to meet the leader of the international diplomatic community in Ghana and say, we have something we have to say about our country.
Your Excellency, there is no reason whatsoever for the president to be watching over this and be instructing state institutions to deal with issues like this. The general secretary of the party and the minority leader and the president in waiting, Dr. Bawumia, sent us to come and do this peacefully. Please, Your Excellency, we need action. First of all, the first action is to release Abronye this. That we do not know. In fact, this court has not given us any day time for him to reappear, for him to be released. This is how the abuse is ongoing, the onslaught. And this is a judge who has predetermined the matter before the matter is even dealt with. Your Excellency, the history of all hitherto existing in society is the history of class struggle. When this goes on for more than necessary time, we are not going to sit down and watch. If it is about killing us, I have told my family, and I'm sure a lot of people would. If you see that your father hasn't come home, understand. That is the kind of business we are in. That this government, headed by President John Dramani Mahama, does not understand that the criminal libel law was repealed. And that he's brought in the state that we call the culture of silence again. Somebody says, Dumso is back, you get the person arrested. This is the thing. And is Dumso not back, Your Excellency?
It's back.
But folks, let me say something here. Number one. Me, I don't know how many MPs went. I don't know who was there. Neither do I care. But I say the only thing that I can say confidently is that when I saw them reporting Ghana to the white woman, the only thing that came in my mind was that, yeah, Amituri was right. He said that colonialism has not only made us stupid, it has made us ignorant in our stupidity. It gets to the point where it's only ignorance that can tell us, let's go and see somebody else because we are not capable of strategically managing our affairs. It is stupidity. But this is not first in the history of Ghana. The same tradition, when we were close to independence, the same UGCC, the same tradition, said no. They actually went to see the Queen. Do you see the similarities here? Back in the day, they went to see the Queen with a letter to beg the Queen, Queen Pacho, don't give us independence. That was independence time. Now we have had our independence, we have had the history that has gone on, everything up to today. That when we have a problem, from the same tradition, who went to see the Queen this time, they march to the diplomatic corps Say we're going to report our country because certain things are not right. As for certain things not being right here, that's not my theory here. Because yes, definitely certain things are not right. And that did not begin just now. It's been going on for a while. And let me say this. I am the last person to say that, oh, it happened before, so let it happen again. Tit for tat. It doesn't make sense. Say because this party did it and I condemned it, but now my party can do it, but I'll praise it. No, it is a sign of hypocrisy and intellectual mediocrity. Be bold. You know, I think there's one show that we did. I'm thinking maybe the editor will put the link. It's when at one point in Ghana we're talking about arrests were being made under the NDC and the arrests were Rambo style. I am on record to have come to condemn it. And you can check it. The link is there. Go and find out. I spoke against it. So I spoke against it and I stand by it. But for me, I feel a certain level of deep hypocrisy when people who saw it happening under another regime kept quiet and embraced it quietly. They are now championing the Ghana free speech is being threatened. Excuse me? Let's stop the hypocrisy. I'm not justifying anything. I'm saying that if you endorsed it and you had nothing to say against it, why now? But here too, there's a little bit of difference. Because when you go to the extent of insulting people, when you go to the extent of threatening the stability of a nation and your democracy, it is only those who are mentally retarded who will see it as an act of democracy. I can swing my arm, and if I hit your nose or your eyes or your head and break your head, it's okay, so long as I exercise my right to swing my arm. It is stupidity, folks. What Abronye did, absolutely despicable. And that was not the first time. There was a time that he insulted the General Secretary of the NPP, gave it left, right, and center to Justin Kodua.
Mr. Kodua said disciplinary committee report whereby I say a nipa say MPP amanyoku say a person kuo ni ye a nipa or damage kuo okita anti-party behavior ewo MPP amanyoku no eye Kennedy a Japan. Kennedy a Japan can never be MPP. Na buana ono no wura mu wa ye frɛ no abo osono no kora no o wa adwene kyɛ nipa na mudi na kyia mo so na ye MPP no obi anim sɛ abo osono na ankasa no de sono proper no e wo nyansa kyɛ honorable Kennedy Japan, and that is a fact. And no na mo mpesa mo beti me de maka kyerɛ mo.
It wasn't okay. At that time, what's his name was not talking freely. It was not free speech. Justin Kodua thought he had impugned the integrity of him, Justin Kodua, and the party. He summoned him to the disciplinary committee.
How can you, regional chairman, sit down and say, disciplinary committee, and the report about your KSM party being film? I better report to be anyone, sir. I was about General Secretary Dean, it won't say, men are matter report. No, so. Every party is from acting chairman. The first meeting, they are prepared to suspend the two of them. And that Chamubuti did that by say was say, now Afenyo what take over as acting chairman. And told the young Koshuomo for the last time. And to 29 days, it's the so. And nothing yet me young suspend Abronye.
Na den na na mujina so suspend
Kasa me kai Kasa say ya omo Kasa tia party mpenifu.
Okay.
And the from one. Party ne boame and the credit to me shame say General Secretary more power to suspend people. But now can the party has come you free party.
But that's okay. If it's against the MPP or the secretary, they can summon you. It is wrong. But you sit down there and threaten Mahama and threaten the government to make the nation unbearable, that one is a free speech issue. I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're listening to me and understanding that, folks, if you have the interest of this nation at heart, as I do, and as many people do, if you have the interest at heart, you will realize that democracy does not mean undermining the integrity of the nation or the state. It is not right. Look, go back to some of my shows that I did. I praised Bawumia to high heaven. You remember the election, and somehow it got to a point they hadn't even finished counting, but he came out to concede and declare Mahama the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, following yesterday's presidential and parliamentary elections, Ghanaians at home and abroad have been sitting on tenterhooks awaiting the outcome of the election. Let me say that the data from our own internal collation of the election results indicate that former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has won the presidential election decisively.
And what I said was that, wow, I congratulated him. For me, it was an act of statesmanhood. I respected him for that. I did. I said, listen, that singular act has proved that Bawumia cares about this nation. And Mr. Bawumia, I am sorry you decided to deviate from that line of action. Because trust me, if you had maintained that line of action, logically, your respect would have grown much, 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 much higher. Say, no. He's MPP. Yeah, fine, he's whatever. But Charlie, this man, he thinks about the nation. Do you remember him conceding because he didn't want any basa to come in the country? That was high marks for you, my good friend Bawumia. High marks. Even when they saw Mahama and you were gracious enough to even go to him to congratulate him. High marks. I then saw in you a true nationalist. This man is for the nation and he's not a party sycophant. And that's where I put you. Not just me, many Ghanaians put you in that same category. You know something? But sadly, I don't know whether to call it schizophrenia. You know, when they say you have not schizophrenia, a split personality. Maybe you have a split personality. Sometimes you believe that we should hold the nation together, and sometimes you believe that no matter what, forget the nation, let's protect our party. I don't know. Because after doing these two things that I thought was absolutely remarkable, and I'm on record for commending you for those acts, but then again something happened, and the action was so different, it shocked me. What's that guy's name? Fanti Comedy or something? Who actually went on air to threaten the president and say all kinds of foolish things about the president.
Mahama yebekula akunigim na ono de kokko boton ye de ni besem ene ade ni besem ni atetera no ni ato atwe afena mawie Mahama so be obewu ye be mekiso ase ye kuno etwa ne yiriti ade aza ne de be ye Mahama
mo ba office 8 months ni ballot paper no mo da so 8 helicopter no nipa 8 ene wu ye mo bebi a mo koje itumi no ebe ye ayesere mo fa mo na ase nkomo mo 888 eyehu yesremo ebi amude amadwin ma bibi so mesi omobo office 8 months ni omoda 8 ewo ballot paper no so helicopter no so enipa 8 enewu ye mesi baby am ko ye no yesre mo fa nipa no na ase nkoma no na afi de Ghana for no yensu no muti eji ensem o eji ensem.
He was arrested and released. What happened after his release? My most respected Vice President, former Vice President Bawumia, you went to meet with him. You actually hugged him. Bawumia, why?
Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them,
Whom will you that I release unto you? Barabbas, for Jesus purchased holy coin.
So I was so disgusted. Former Vice President, you shouldn't have hugged him. I tell you what you should have done though. You are older than him. You are more educated than him. You are more intellectually astute than him. He's a younger brother of yours who is not as intelligent. So, former Vice President, this is what you should have done. Call him. Say, I beg you, I know you are working for our party, but please, to threaten the president on air that he should be killed is not right. I'm not saying don't support the party. I'm not saying don't support me. We are still buddies. But please, you are just growing. We are Kolao. You are just growing. Please understand that getting on air and publicly threatening your president is a no-no. Don't do that again. I would have given more respect to him if he had said that than calling him to hug him. Let me reverse things, because sometimes when people are so sycophantic, they don't understand what you are saying. So let me reverse things. Let me reverse things right now. Let's say I come and stand here and I say some stupid thing about former President, His Excellency Akufo-Addo. Even to the point that I threaten the life of Akufo-Addo and call him insane and all kinds of crap. And the law catches up with me. So let's say I'm arrested, and then for whatever reason, I come out. And the next thing you see is me standing by Mahama, hugging me. Hey! Just imagine, when I put it in this context, then you understand how stupid the act was. I have insulted Akufo-Addo. But cast something derogatory and say, I want him to die or I'll kill him. I'm arrested for whatever reason, I'm out. And then you see that Mahama has invited me to Jubilee House. No, hugging me. Say, keep it up. What does this mean? Folks, forget about you, the old people like me. Think about your children and your children's children. Think about the country they are growing up in. What does it mean to show a child that the president hugs somebody who has just previously threatened the life of another person? Patroya Satiring, let's start thinking, let's start being reasonable. And sometimes to be reasonable, you need to release yourself from the grip of partisanship. Stupid. So when I saw Mr. Bawumia with this Kinky Fanti, and KK Fati has all of a sudden become a hero, I said, hey, this country, we will suffer small. It is stupid. But as a people, we found nothing wrong. We think it's okay. Folks, let me say this one more time. For any allegedly intelligent person to threaten that we are going to weaponize our youth and will make this country ungovernable.
We will weaponize our support base and we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them.
Folks, that is treason. Ghana fool. Do you think any right-thinking person from whatever party, from whatever angle, can get up and say, you are intimidating us? And if you... Let me calm down small. Let me dwell on this whole thing, Mahama intimidating. I remember when they were arrested under Nanado, and I think at that time he had gone to Paris for a conference, and the interviewers spoke with him regarding the arrest that they were hearing in Ghana, blase, blase, blase. Let me just pause for a quick second and let you listen to what Nanado said.
Right. Are you concerned about protest movements? We've seen a lot of protests. Some activists were arrested, put in jail. The opposition is saying you're trying to stifle dissent.
I'm not responsible for jailing people in Ghana. The courts in Ghana are independent institutions, and they have been all through this period of the Fourth Republic. People misconduct themselves and they're brought before court. It's for the court to deal with them. That's not a matter.
It has nothing to do about politics.
It has nothing to do with the executive. And their behavior is what lands them in problem with the police and with the courts.
Did you hear him? Massa, did you hear him? Me, I'm a president. I'm with the executive branch. I don't meddle with the courts. It's the courts that are doing their things, and we have separation of powers, so allow the courts to work. Did you hear him? I wonder, maybe the NDC people didn't hear him, because they should have gone also then to the diplomatic corps then and say, this is what our president is saying, please, we need you to protect us. Do you see what I'm talking about? You heard him? And let me say this, on the record, I think people who are most vociferous against Mahama, he has become a dictator, he's tearing this country down, blase, who has become the most vociferous, especially the NPP people who are so up in arms that Mahama is stifling our rights, Mahama. Do you know what I think? I think in your own private time, when you get on your knees and you are praying to God, thank God for Mahama. I'm going to say that again and I'll explain it. I said this is going to all especially the MPP people who are so angry. I'm saying you today, when you go to sleep and you pray, say a prayer for Mahama. Do you know why? Because other people in the country, not necessarily MP people, I'm talking about MPP, NDC, and generally some Ghanaians, are also very, very angry with Mahama. Do you know why? He says, why is he allowing those who looted this country to go about so freely and do what they want and even start running for chairmanship of their parties and playing soccer, having political parties and jamming? So there are a whole contingent of people who are angry with Mahama. Why are you allowing this? If you have arrested them, would they have been going back for back? And then when you go to the personality himself, Mahama, why? Do you know what he says? He says, I'm equally frustrated, but let's allow the law to work.
I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted. Dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing even on the smallest point of law to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly."
The wheels of justice grind slowly. And that is why, and I won't name them, everybody who's been accused of looting and robbing and plunging this country into chaos because of Mahama's extreme tolerance. You're free to walk around, you're free to have your parties. You're actually free to run for office. How many times have you heard one to me saying he's the incoming chairman of the NPP? and that Bawumia is the incoming president.
And I want to say, for one to me pleading with you today, it's not for you to serve me. I'm going to serve you as I have done it previously. And you are going to be respected. You know, you are going to be protected. You know, we are a party, we are going to make the value, works again. So, bringing Chairman Wu to me as a national chairman means that now the party has given value to the grassroots. So if you bring Chairman Wu to me from the grassroots, I mean grassroots chairman, the grassroots chairman, if you immediately you elect me as a grassroots chairman, these people, what they are saying that the MPP don't have the value for people who don't have titles and certificates, immediately it will stop. Because you have voted and bring their own to lead our party, to partner with Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. So Chairman Wu to me, to be a national chairman is like a twins. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is a late. So he's a atapanyi. And the Chairman Wu to me will be at Akakra as a national chairman to partner with them. So the grassroots are going to be happy.
This is a man who has a list of charges this long for galamsey and destruction of forestry and everything. He has a list this long of crimes.
The company and its director and CEO forged a receipt in order to deceive Exim Bank that they were in compliance with the loan conditions. These are not mere breaches of a contract, but constitute acts of criminality by no means a person than the regional chairman of the then ruling party. In the circumstances and the face of the evidence we have gathered in this investigation, thoroughly conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, we have made the decision to prosecute Wontumi Farms and its directors with defrauding by false pretenses, forgery, and causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 24,255,735 Ghana cedis.
Even he, right now as we speak, is running for office. They're having parties. They are relaxed. And folks, people are also very angry with Mahama. So why are you allowing them to go like this? And it's funny, this is the point I'm making here. It's very, very funny that because of the people's freedoms and things to move about, for which many Ghanaians are angry with Mahama, those who are enjoying the freedom to loot and walk around, they are the ones. God bless our homeland Ghana, oh. Charlie. I even read something from Manasseh or something. Very, 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 he started off very well, but ended up by saying that Mahama has lost control and what the police are arresting people left for back and forth is not real. And I'll leave that to Manasseh. He was the one that cracked the story about the corruption that Mahama was in and the Ford Escapade or Ford Escort or something, which incidentally was given to Mahama as a gift. He declared it and actually put it in the pool as one of the official state cars. He was lambasted. No, folks, let me stop. Let me get to this. I'm not holding brief for Mahama. I don't have to. I'm only speaking the facts that the people, most of the people that are condemning him, would rather go on your knees and thank God that it's the same. If it hadn't been for Mahama or maybe some other character who are taking over power, I don't think things would have been this cool. But he has a style, he is tolerant, and he's making sure that the law works. Mahama is even afraid to say, let me pressure the Supreme Court to do this and that. He says, if he does that, he as executive has actually broken the separation of powers. Let the law work.
me pese court ni tie nsem na entem. And so me to me court ho and catch a judge say asem no wo ya che ye entem me to me yes sir, because your separation of powers. Me na me executive. Omu na judiciary.
So for me, it's quite interesting that somebody like this who is saying let the law work is now the quote unquote, as they've been saying, the diaspora. As for the diaspora, I'll come to your case another time. When the mutats and conformaso, namuni undermine your own country because you are in the US or Canada or wherever you think you say you are. You have fun there. But I'm advising you, talk to your relatives, come to Ghana every now and then and experience what Ghana is going through. We are going through nothing but trying to build Ghana. Let me assure you, that's what we're doing. So stop sticking out there to Judicial Ghana saying, I say, Mahama, Idi Amin, crap. Ghanaians are angry with Mahama. I'm not generalize it, but let me say, some Ghanaians are angry with Mahama. You know why? You're saying you Idi Amin enough. Or you're soft to quarantine. Still are people who have all these accusations now going about. And it has gone to the point where they are now even claiming that maybe we didn't do anything. That's why we have not been arrested. But like Mahama, I also believe in the law. And I always say that long rope has been given, and there are those who are going to be caught in the law. You start with your campaign for political parties, start with whatever. All I'm saying that no matter what you do, the law will catch up with you. But please, as I end, Afenyo, you call me your uncle. I also call you my nephew. If I have advice for you, I'll give you. If you don't understand it, you also tell me, whatever. But Afenyo, I remember you in court one time, and I think it's in the era when some people are calling the Supreme Court unanimous FC and all of that. And I remember what my nephew, Afenyo Markin, had to say. Listen to this.
I would want to say that it's a day to celebrate the judicial. Yes, Mr. Speaker. Except that, Mr. Speaker, we have to be very consistent as a political class in our celebration of the judicial. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the position taken by the Honorable Harry Nedrusu. No executive arm of government can manipulate the judiciary arm of the realm. Mr. Speaker, it must never be said, that the judiciary is under the control of the executive. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Harry Nedrusu is a courtroom practitioner, just as I am. You were a courtroom practitioner. One of the things that we were taught at the bar was to accept the decisions of the court. And when we are not happy, we should go up. And that is how we enrich the law. Let us understand that there are situations where we disagree. And even when we disagree, the language, the approach is essential. Mr. Speaker, an impression is being created that the Supreme Court of Ghana is only there to handle partisan political cases. It is not so. Mr. Speaker, if you disagree with the system, use the system to correct it.
Oh my God, were you listening to him? I was. The thing that he said that I really paid attention to, how to respect the judiciary, how we should watch our utterances, and even how we express our sentiments. That was Afenyo Markin. At that time, he happens to be a part of the government and a majority leader. Now that he's in the minority, the same judiciary, the same judges, the same, listen to what he's saying now. Take a listen.
That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath. I don't think he read the law. That Circuit Court 9 judge, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abronye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined. Such a judge can never have my respect. I pray that he summons me for contempt. I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. He's gone beyond his judicial function. And it is not his first. It's as if he has been selected purposely to achieve this. He doesn't talk law. I don't know whether he ever passed his law exam. It's a shame. It's a shame on the judiciary.
Hold on. Massa, my nephew, insulting the judge? Insulting him? Wasn't you not the same person that said this?
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the position taken by the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. No executive arm of government can manipulate the judiciary arm of the realm. Mr. Speaker, it must never be said that the judiciary is under the control of the executive. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Haruna Idrisu is a courtroom practitioner, just as I am. You were a courtroom practitioner. One of the things that we were taught at the bar was to accept the decisions of the court. And when we are not happy, we should go up. And that is how we enrich the law. Let us understand that there are situations where we disagree. And even when we disagree, the language, the approach is essential. Mr. Speaker, an impression is being created that the Supreme Court of Ghana is only there to handle partisan political cases. It is not so. Mr. Speaker, if you disagree with the system, use the system to correct it.
What happened? My nephew, I'm asking you, what is the difference? What has happened now? Has the judiciary changed now? Because it is a partisan judiciary? Isn't that practically scandalous? I mean, we had him actually insulting the judge, actually impugning the integrity of the entire judiciary, of which he's one. He's a senior attorney. Impugning the integrity of the entire judiciary after making the long talk about how you must respect procedure, and if there's something you don't understand, the place to go to is the courts. Is that what is happening now? All of a sudden, I was scandalized to hear him lambasting the judge. But what kind of law school? Did he even pass law school?
That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath. I don't think he read the law. That Circuit Court 9 judge, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abronye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined, such a judge can never have my respect. I pray that he summons me for contempt. I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. He's gone beyond his judicial function. And it is not his first. It's as if he has been selected purposely to achieve this. He doesn't talk law. I don't know whether he ever passed his law exam. It's a shame. It's a shame on the judiciary.
Massa, let me tell you this directly, my nephew. A lawyer who can, in plain public, say this really, really disgusting description of a judge. I'm sorry. It's only in Ghana that can happen. Only in Ghana. Elsewhere, maybe the legal counsel would have called you and asked some questions. I guess this is all part of the free speech. So let's continue like that. to quote Leonard Abronye, that you're defending so well because you appreciate his brilliance? Is it because he has said, hey, political court, we are political court, you be me come we are political.
Now, grandma, and I did judge you adenta ho. Wo brafo ya to wo brafo. We are political judge. And untina da bia no ye nya case ya. Ye de kwa adenta ho. Judge na wa adenta circuit court one or ye political judge. Mon calculate cases here. Nansei adenta ho police for ye ya no mo de kwa adenta circuit court. Negotiating ben na Ghana police service any adenta circuit court no or ye political judge. Judge na wo adenta no ye political judge. Oni abana ye negotiation. A intimidation court and or my establish e wo adenta ho. Intimidation court. Enya court wa a deliver justice. Enya court where ye fair because Ghana police service any judge you know e wo negotiation. Anything case be yamfa kwa adenta circuit court or your political judge. Womo musro sa mbeka kire wo no media count me out. Womo musro sa mbeka kire say wo your political judge no media count me out. Go you can do foco.
Is this true? Has the judiciary sunk to the depths where it has become a political court now? If so, so that we the people too can make our minds. Once upon a time, it was a well-respected court. The judges and everything was fantastic. It was not a political court. However, should I borrow your own words? After the tables turned, it has now become a political court. And they are in negotiations with the police. I don't even understand the word negotiations. They are in negotiations with the police that let us set up our political court in Adenta. You can say this and say this freely, impugn the integrity of a judge and do it freely. And you have respected legal men in the country man the platform to defend you because your rights of free speech have been affected. I'm sure very soon Abronye, which it is alleged already is working for Bawumia, I'm sure very soon we should see them hugging. Yes, but me, dear, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think. All I care for is that I have grown to know at this age that this is the only country I have. This is the only country I have. And I feel good to be in Ghana as a Ghanaian. I have opportunities to do things in Ghana as a Ghanaian. So I will protect this so that whatever I'm feeling or going through can spread to the youth, to other people in Ghana, so that we all collectively have a good feeling about Ghana. Yeah. Look, I'll invite all of you who are up in arms, whatever, I don't care. You all should join us in the crusade to build Ghana. We are now trying to build a country and not a political party. So join in the crusade to build Ghana and not a political party. And MPP, you can hate me for the rest of your life because of the advice I'm giving you. Look, there is no salesperson in the world who has products that they are going out to sell. And everything they are saying is giving the potential buyer a reason to say, if it's like this, they won't buy it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're a salesperson, you have a product that you're going out to sell. But the way you are selling the product has made the product so unattractive that people say, Charlie, stay with the mentor. And that's what you are doing to your party. That's what I did a show long ago. And I'm saying, which Ganyo, when Ganyo asks you, Ulupa is an elderly person. Is there no elderly person in the house? But in the spirit that I use it, I'm not talking about an elderly person in terms of age. I'm talking about an elderly person in terms of maturity. I think you all go and see somebody and ask him, Advice. Whether, ask him just one advice. Mr. Kwame Mpianim or Mr. Nyaho Tamakulu, please, you have come for advice. We want to weaponize our youth so that they can make this country ungovernable. They can insult, they can kill, they can break the law. We want to weaponize them so that we can create chaos. Dr. Nyaho Tamakulu and Mr. Kwame Mpianim, we know you are both founding fathers of the MPP. Please, can we go ahead and listen to what he will tell you? And take that advice. When I give that advice to you, you won't take it from me. Take that same weaponizing the youth to make Ghana ungovernable. We can't never tupe. Nyaho Tamakulu, Kwame Mpianim. Munkubisa. Say the mukayana. Enya zasamana. Non fasumamo. You know what I find strange about this? About what my dear friend Kujo is saying.
The tension is high already. I think yesterday you saw the Peace Council issue a statement that acknowledged that the tension is high. Why is the tension high? The tension is high because every well-meaning member of the Ghanaian society can see that the government of the day is using sections 207 and 208 to suppress dissenting views. That is what is raising the tensions, because there have been many other instances in which very senior people on the NDC side, including the current president himself, made comments about the judiciary, and you didn't see 207, 208 being applied in this manner. It is those things that are heightening the tension, and it is that tension that I think the Peace Council is calling on the authorities to try to rein in by putting a stop to this practice that they are embarking upon.
And also what the Peace Council has come out with. Let me tell you what I find strange. Number one, when you start talking about this tension in the country, as Kofi Kojo just said, even right-thinking people, well, generally people are now feeling tension in the country. Let me explain something, folks. Let's say when Salam had his press conference, and when he threatened that he was going to weaponize all the MPP youth to make Ghana ungovernable. Samokai.
We will weaponize our support base and we will make this country extremely ungovernable for them.
Let's just imagine that right after he said that, and this is just imagining because it didn't happen like that. Let's just imagine that if right after he says that, then the youth organizer for NDC2 also does another press conference. We will face the MPP. I'm also going to weaponize the youth in the NDC to make sure that we face them. This is just an example. It is at this stage that I think the Peace Council, if they have Ghana at heart, would immediately come in and say, Charlie, hold on. There's too much tension in this country. The two giants of political parties, I mean, they are bickering publicly. One will say, I'll make Ghana ungovernable. One will say, we will check you. Please, there's tension in the country. Metiasio. So they come and they want to get the tool and advise them. I'll understand. But folks, I have a problem. So far, it's only the MPP organizer who has come up with a statement. So please, Peace Council, there's no tension in the country because nobody has responded that we are going to fire back. So what I expected the Peace Council to do, and Kojo Ponkroma, if you can advise them, just call the MPP youth organizer that made those statements. He's the one that you should advise that don't say these things because it could generate to counter statements and that will bring tension. So with all respects, now there's no tension anywhere. There's just a situation we are in where unfortunately the MPP youth organizer feels entitled that they are the party that are entitled to everything. So he's making noises. Peace Council, call him, talk to him, and tell him to come publicly to withdraw what he said. That is where we can see that you are trying to bring tensions down in Ghana. But don't say everybody's worried about tension, when the thing is that what is worrying Ghanaians is that one person from one party can get up and make such proclamations about making this country ungovernable. Folks, I'm tired of, but I'll keep staying here, campaigning all I can to build Ghana, because I can see a built Ghana. Whether I'm alive or not, I can see that it's a country of amazing potential worldwide, not just Africa. So let's keep at it with our devotion to building this nation. We may not live to see it, but our children and our great-grandchildren and our grandchildren will grow up in the country when they'll be proud as Ghanaians to salute it. And they will never in their life run to some diplomatic office to go and complain about their country, because this country, we are bound to rise.